This video is brought to you by Aura. More about them later in the video.
Today we are finishing all of the chassis paint on Drift Truck V2 and transforming it from this to this. From this to this. I could not be more excited. All right, we're gonna start up front. All of this sheet metal underneath this plastic has to be painted, but we don't want to paint the tube chassis, which is already painted white. So we're gonna do some convenient taping and get spraying. Let's do like a half. First we're gonna do the wheel wells. It's starting to look pretty good now. We got the white, we got the black, but it's missing one thing. The frame is still bare metal. And so we're gonna go ahead and tackle that just so the front is 100% done and I feel better about myself. For the frame, we have Steel It, but the brush on version. Steel It is nice for a couple of reasons. For one, it is weld through. So if we need to add anything to the frame, you can just weld straight through it, don't have to grind it off. Secondly, it sticks to bare metal really, really well. And the fact that it is brush on is nice. No more taping. All right, the front is looking awesome. All of the black, the Steel It on the frame, it all looks fantastic. Super happy with the way this all turned out. It's make me feel better. Now there are a few more things we have to do on the body of the truck, but I'm going to abandon that for a second and work on the suspension. All the 4-link bars have to be painted, the panhard bar, that all has to be painted, and I want to do that as soon as possible so it has as much time to dry before reassembly. So, let's do that. Gotta take these off the axle, start sanding them, and then there are a few more bars over there. So all of the bars are painted gloss white. I hope I'm gonna like this color combo. There's no turning back now. You can't really go wrong with white and black, right? Speaking of which, we're gonna go ahead and work on painting the actual box frame now. So just like we did the front, we gotta sand it all, prep it all, and then we're going to brush on some Steel It, because that's the other thing that has to be done and allowed to dry before we can put the suspension and stuff back together. So. Bruh, spam call. And you know what, that actually reminds me about this video's sponsor, Aura. Because the other day I discovered something scary. I searched my name and my email address and I found detailed private information about me. I'm talking things like age, date of birth, my current and previous addresses, my phone number, my parents' phone number, all of my siblings' names, stuff I did not expect to be out on the internet, easy to find. And especially since I'm a public figure, and no offense to some of you, people can be weird, I don't like having that information out there. People can just show up, call my phone number. And you know what? That actually explains the spam call. Since my data is so easy to find online, I get a crazy amount of spam calls. I mean, I'm talking almost every single day, I get a call about my car's extended warranty, you know, my missing package from Amazon, or some other stupid scam trying to steal my money. I mean, it's gotten to the point where I just don't bother answering the phone if the person isn't in my contacts. And that's why I started using Aura, the sponsor of today's video. See, Aura shows me which data brokers are selling my information and automatically submits opt-out requests for me. Cleaning up my information not only helps reduce the amount of spam I get, but it also protects me from hackers, which could use this information to access my social media accounts, my bank accounts, or other sensitive information, which is really important for me. But did you know that it's not just data brokers that are exposing our information? It's also sometimes companies that we're supposed to trust. Recently, AT&T revealed that over 73 million customer records were released on the dark web. I mean, look at that right there. But AT&T recommended that anyone affected use strong passwords, monitor account activity, and consider credit freezes or fraud alerts from credit bureaus. Well, Aura does all of this for me. And the best thing is that I don't have to download several different apps from different companies just to keep my data secure. Aura does it all. I value my privacy, you guys should value yours, and that's why you should go to aura.com/Gingium to get started with a free 2-week trial. I'll have a link in the description and up there in the cards. Huge thank you to Aura for sponsoring this video, but let's get back to painting the drift truck. Cue the time lapse for sanding. So the frame is now steelated, 2 layers on both the front and the back. It looks awesome. Not fully dry yet, but it's steaming pretty good. It's nice and hard. It seems to be working well. So now the chassis is painted, the tube works painted, all the suspension components are painted. There's one last thing to do before reassembling the truck. Just let me cook, okay? It's gonna be questionable, but let me cook. So yep, I painted it black. Not because this is the color the truck's going to be. It's not gonna be black, don't worry. But because I was sick and tired of the red. One of my patrons noticed that with the red and the white and the black, the drift truck looked like a Christmas tree, and I just didn't want to see the red anymore. Was there any point? No, but it took me, you know, a few minutes. And now there's no more red. It looks good, makes me feel happy. Yes, I'm gonna have to sand all the black off when we actually go to paint the thing, but. Oh, and now it started raining. Lovely. Now that I've gotten into mountain biking, I hate rain because I can't bike on a wet trail. It damages the trail. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and start removing all the tape now, and then we can finally see this thing kind of pretty much finished. Crazy how much a solid axle just changes the weight distribution, because this thing used to be really front heavy on this. Now look at that. Okay, let's keep this jack here, eh? Yikes. Oh, yes. It's honestly crazy how much of a difference it makes just seeing it on the ground. Because I was a little worried. I was like, too much white, too much black. Obviously, it's not gonna stay black, but back here, I was like, way too much white and black. I think it looks freaking incredible. But I want to put the bash bars on and the brace. So, no more truck in the paint booth. And for our first time using this space, I think it worked really, really well. Definitely some things to improve. We'll definitely use an actual sprayer for next time. I've got some ideas for the filtration system, the air system in here, but it is working great, and that was a success. The fact that I was able to just focus on painting, not taping off the rest of the shop, getting overspray everywhere, is sweet. I mean, just outside this door, I never close this door, and there's zero overspray out here. But we're technically not done with painting. The truck is back over here on the lift, and we have to finish the stuff that we couldn't reach, which thankfully, not a whole lot. In fact, it's just this and this. So we're gonna use the roll-on Steelit for all of this. Keep it nice and simple, no spraying, no overspray, no taping off. Gotta scuff it all up and roll it all on. The floor is painted, looks freaking incredible. I love this Steelit stuff. It lays on nicely, it hardens very strong. It's like a good finish. You can brush it on, you can spray it on. Now the only thing is that the spots underneath the frame where the lift is holding it up, couldn't get those. So we're gonna go ahead and lower the truck, put on some jack stands, and paint that real quick. And then this truck is going to be 100% done, chassis-wise. So not at all. It's a bit tight, admittedly. Nice. There we are. I mean, that's looking pretty sweet. I'm very happy to be done with all that, at least until we start working on the exterior. But for now, I'm going to start working on reassembling the truck. We got a little bit extra time, so I'm gonna start in the back, do the radiator, do the fuel tank, and then tomorrow, once the under stuff is a little bit drier, we can put the engine and trans in. All right, fuel tank's in, radiator's in, and the water pump's in. That's kind of the basic stuff for back here. It's time, ladies and gents. Our supercharged 1UZ and CD09 and fish racing adapter going back in the truck. We're gonna do some taping off real quick just to try to protect this chassis when we put it in. Main bars, and then I'll put something over the trans for the firewall, but probably gonna scratch it up. That's the way she goes. Why the transmission spit its guts out? now, but not when I was taking it out? I don't know. But it did, and it's a fucking mess. And it's our favorite fluid. Gear mother frickin' oil. Shit was fresh too. I was excited to run it for another long time. And just like that, 1UZ is in the drift truck. A little challenging, but yeah, all I had to do was loosen that header and it slid right in. I did a pretty good job at protecting the chassis. No scratches up here. Some scratches on the firewall right there and down there, but besides that, we're all golden. And look at this thing. I love seeing like a darker engine surrounded by white. I don't know why. I think it looks really good. You saw the trans mount was in there and it's painted now. Trans is lining up nicely still, so that's good. Nothing moved. Back to being kind of hard to push. Well guys, there it is. Drift truck is painted. It's put back together, kind of. Engine and transmission are in. Some of the radiator stuff is in, and some of the back stuff is in. I'm very happy with the way it turned out. At the beginning of this video, I was a little hesitant because I was like, yeah, the white-black combo is just too much. But with this other stuff, with the shininess and like the gold turned out great because we got a lot of zinc stuff, which matches the BC Racing stuff, which is just incredible. I think it looks fantastic. I mean, this thing looks like a serious kind of like show track car right now. And just wait until it's actually painted and there's an exterior and stuff on it. Oh man, I love it. Very happy, very, very happy. And everything fits, everything just undamaged. Really couldn't have gone any better, especially like from this angle. This thing looks sick. Kind of just want to keep it like this. And I might for a little bit, we'll see. Now it's the challenging part because we got to get this thing running again. And if you saw the video where we took it apart, that's not going to be so easy because there's something wrong in the wiring harness somewhere. The reason why we haven't done more reassembling in this video is pretty much because the next step is to put the engine harness in and try to start hot wiring it. Just try to make it work. If I can get the engine harness to work with just some hot wiring, then we're gonna make a custom new chassis harness because the old chassis harness was pretty screwed. I mean, it had been modified and added to numerous times. It wasn't good. Going to like a PDM and going to like a solid state system is gonna be so nice. But if I can't get the engine harness to work, then we're gonna be in trouble. That'll be what happens in the next video with Drift Truck V2. And of course, if you wanna watch that ahead of schedule, you can check out Patreon, where you support the channel for one, but you also get access to exclusive content, exclusive merch for free, and a whole bunch of other stuff. A huge thank you to anyone who supports the channel on Patreon. It means the world to me. Now, with that being said, the next video is not gonna be on the Drift Truck. It's gonna be on the new project car, and patrons already know what that is. So get excited for that. I'll see you guys then. Thank you to Aura for sponsoring this video yet again. Deuces. In fact, I gotta start working on that new car right now. Oh, you hear that door? Oh man, you see how quiet it is? Oh, you know, the clutch feels pretty good. Yeah. Oh, it's a manual. Of course it's a manual, bro. Who do you think I am? Feels very large compared to some of my other vehicles.